It's a new dawn, a new day, and a new season as we take one step closer to our final goal of getting back and establishing ourselves as a Bundesliga club. It's opening day of the second Bundesliga season. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 18 of Lionhearted, the return of TSV 1860 Munich. How you doing? I'm Mr. Cellophane, and we are getting ready to begin our first campaign, and hopefully our last, in the second Bundesliga with our squad 1860 Munich. We are on the road against Ingolstadt 04. It is a brand new season, first match day of the year, and the excitement is just shining through. And while we have made a number of changes over the summer, the starting lineup for our opening match may look quite familiar, as a lot of familiar faces are still with us. Tom Kretzmar is going to be getting the start in goal. Filip Antovski will be our left back. We are still waiting for our new signee to, cross the T's, dot the I's, and whatnot. So they haven't joined us yet. So Antovski will be getting the start here. However, Jamil Najjar is going to be one of our center backs. He's brand new, in on loan from our senior affiliate. He's going to be paired with Antonios Papadopoulos, who had a fantastic season last year. We are very happy. Now, Papadopoulos' partner from last year has slid over one spot. Our new right back is going to be Adam Zvigela. He can play on the right side. We haven't really found a suitable replacement. He's pretty good over there. He was pretty good in the center, so we hope that he's going to add something as he completes our back four. Brand new loanee Nico Kovac is going to be anchoring the defense. Ahead of him will be Patrick Sontheimer, and last year's star signing, at least in my opinion. We brought him in on loan. We were able to get him on a free over the summer. Talon Duman in our midfield. Now, our wingers are going to look quite familiar. Even though they are getting older, Albion Vernetzi, Martin Kobolansky are still with the squad. We have not found any takers for one or the other just yet. We may have had to promise Vernetzi that we weren't going to sell him in order for team harmony, so he may be with us for quite a while. Jakub Rezik is going to be backing him up. And, of course, we've got Christian Conte coming in. He is injured and is not going to be able to feature in this match. And up front will be our captain, Finn Lachenmacher, who led the Dritte Liga with 24 goals last season. Let's hope he can start this year like he did last. Pair of hat tricks and back-to-back games. That'd be pretty sweet. So I hope you're as excited as I am to get this season underway. We are opening up on the road in Ingolstadt. 15,200 in attendance at Audi Sport Park, and I just hope our club performs as well as they did in the preseason. Went undefeated in the preseason against some fairly stiff competition during our training camp. So not all cupcakes and rainbows and flowers. We didn't win every match, but we didn't lose any either. And right now we are putting on a pretty decent defensive show. It looks like in the first 25 minutes, Ingolstadt just picking up their first shot of the match, but they're going to have an opportunity with an early corner kick as Ditkin throws it in. Kretschmar sends it away. Franke with a shot. That's going to be blocked, and Kretschmar is going to easily grab that, keep it inbounds, and get things started for 1860 Munich. Again, making their debut in the second Bundesliga. Zvigela will carry it up, plays it for Sontheimer in the middle, who's going to lose it for Sarpel. Ditkin's got it along that left wing side. He's going to be challenged, playing it for Chantel, and Sontheimer, bad tackle on the edge of the box. There is VAR in the second Bundesliga. They are reviewing for a penalty, and they've decided it is no penalty against Patrick Sontheimer, and that it was a good tackle. From my angle, yeah, I wasn't so sure about that. So very, very lucky we got there. 32 minutes in now as Najjar's going to get things started off of the goal kick from Kretzmar. Antovski sending in the middle, intercepted by Sarpel. Sontheimer steps in and takes it off of his feet. Kretzmar is going to set it up again for Najjar. Across for Papadopoulos. So far, we've our passing has not been fantastic in the highlights that we've seen. Touch pass for Netzi. Antovsky feeding it back up forward. Talon carrying it in the box. Talon stops, laying it back. Antovsky from range hits the crossbar, and it's cleared. Kovac can't get there. It's knocked away by Ditkin, and Zvigala is going to take over. First really good opportunity for 1860 Munich on the match. It was a shot from about 25 yards out by Filip Antovsky that just couldn't get that under the crossbar. And here we are again, another highlight starting deep in our zone. Hopefully we can break through the 4-3-3 of Ingolstadt as Nejar sends it forward, looking for Kobylянski, knotted down though by Franke. Played forward, Karic for Schruck. Back for Musilu. Thrown ahead. Beck is going to come under it. Can Antovsky cut him off? Played back for Karic. Corner of the box. Costly's got it. He's being challenged. Schrock now over for Sarpel. Karic with a long shot, and that's going to go over everything. And it was a nice long highlight to show not a whole heck of a lot. 1 minute going to be added on at the end of this first half, which is going to fall by the wayside. 7 shots to 4 in favor of Ingolstadt. We did hit the woodwork one time. No clear-cut chances for either squad. They are beating us in the possession game as well, and are passing at 85%. Not really one where we want it to be. But we are tied 0-0 on the road, so we're going to tell the team that we are happy with their performance. And an early corner kick opportunity. Lockenmacher cannot find the goal. What a delivery by Talon Duman. Lockenmacher had a great opportunity far post, but he tucked it in on the wrong side. And we still find ourselves 0-0 with a throw in just at the edge of the final third. Antovsky will get it back. Fed forward for Vernetzi. He stops, turns, throws it in the middle. Doesn't find any of his teammates, but it's knocked down to Antovsky. And we are challenging once again. Played back for Kovac. In the middle, Talon Duman. Kovac, Antovsky, Talon again. Reverses field, throws it right wing. Kobylянski is there. Kobylянski tucks it inside the far post. He's got the first goal of the year for the team. 1860 Munich takes the 1-0 lead just under 55 minutes into this match. Again, Talon Duman in the middle of everything, throwing it across. Kobylянski goes across his body with the right foot and puts 1860 Munich up 1-0. Chance on the restart. Talon throwing it forward. He can't find Zvigala, but he will get it back on the clearance. In the middle, Kovac, Najar, Antovsky ahead for Vernetzi, cutting it inside. Back for Najar. Vernetzi is going to get it back. Runs into a little bit of traffic. Back for Antovsky in the middle. Finn Lockenmacher, he hits the crossbar, and Musilu is able to clear it out. It's going to be a throw for 1860 Munich. Second time in the match hitting the woodwork, and it looks like that's going to happen to us quite a bit this year, I think. As the clock ticks down, inside 20 minutes remaining in this match, we're going to make some changes. Had some players who were a little bit knackered. Adam Zvigala is going to come off. Mikko Sponsel, brand new signee, is going to be making his team debut. The same is for Tim Volbrecht. He's going to be replacing Patrick Sondheimer. And Albion Vernetzi, little tired on the left wing. Jakub Brezek, we talked about it before the match. He is going to be the primary substitute on the left wing side right now, while Christian Conte is still out as we move on. 1860 Munich with the 1-0 lead. Ingolstadt still has the advantage in shots, 9-7. They still have the possession advantage, holding it 56% of the time. But Martin Kobylянski has been the difference. And by the way, we sit on the top of the table to kick off our second Bundesliga campaign. As we take a look at, just going a little bit more defensively, we're going to knock the tempo way down, shorten up our passes, waste a whole ton of time as we play for set pieces as well. We're going to slow the pace down on distribution. We're going to leave it more up to our goalkeeper, and we're going to prevent some of that short goalkeeper distribution. Hey, if they want to keep it in their final third, that is all on them. We'll also trigger the press slightly less often, and we'll drop off a touch more on our defensive line. Give them a little bit more room to maneuver, but then hopefully be able to clamp down as we get into our final third. With 3 minutes added on in extra time here in this first match of the season, and the clean sheet is ours. 1-0, 1860 Munich. The 55th minute goal by Martin Kobylянski off of the feed from Talon Duman is the difference, and what a way for us to get started here in the second Bundesliga with a victory away and a clean sheet. And while I know it doesn't really mean much, but it's a small sense of pride, just got an email from the ticket office. They've confirmed that the club have sold all 13,537 season tickets available for this season. Last year, we only sold less than 12 grand. We've maxed out, which just shows the pull we have and maybe gives us an idea of how we may perform over the year. The fans are excited, so they've got good feelings, good vibes all around the club. Are we headed for the Bundesliga? We will find out over the course of a 38-game season. Of course, all it took was a very quick peek at the table to see there are 18 teams in the second Bundesliga, which means it's a 34-game season. Oh well. Small details. The draw for the DFB Pokal is going on today. Who are we going to be taking on in the first round? Hopefully, we get a better draw than the last 2 years. We had Wolfsburg last year. Obviously, Bayern Munich, which was in our very first gameplay episode. We are not going to get them this year. They're taking on Gebenbach. Hollischer has Leipzig. Auerbach is going to be facing off against Sandhausen. Still waiting for our names to come out of the hat. Only about 20 of the 64 available squads have been selected so far. A lot of the second Bundesliga teams are being drawn as the away team, which means that they're being placed against teams that are, for lack of a better term, inferior. Usually the lower rated teams are the ones that you're going to find as the home side. And we've missed out on some big teams that we could be playing. Gladbach, Union Berlin, Fortuna Dusseldorf, Ingolstadt, who we just beat 1-0. Wolfsburg, obviously Bayern Munich. There we are. There's our affiliate, Bayer Leverkusen, against Bonnetal. We are going to be at home. We are taking on Arminia Bielefeld, who is also a second Bundesliga team. So I guess at least we're playing somebody on our level. So maybe that's not the worst draw in the world. We'll have to see how Arminia Bielefeld do in the season as we lead up. We do have the DFB Pokal coming up very, very shortly, early on in our schedule for round one. Hopefully we can make it past this time. I mean, a very small sample size, but Arminia Bielefeld is sitting behind us on the table. We have dropped into 7th. That is purely on goal difference. There are currently 8 squads that have won matches so far in the first match week. Arminia Bielefeld was not one of them. They tied Darmstadt. So, yeah, we're ahead of them on points. Well, we have officially signed Victor Olmo, and he's going to be making his start against Paderborn in our home debut in the second Bundesliga on the left back side. Olivier NZ is also going to come in, replace Jamil Najjar, as we're trying to rotate through and see what we have in our squad right now. Antonios Papadopoulos is going to stay in there, so is Adams Vigala. Kovac is going to remain at the base of the midfield with Sontheimer and Talon Dumar ahead of him. There was a U19 matchup that happened, so a lot of our bench guys did participate in that match, so they're not going to be getting the start in this match, potentially in the matchup against Arminia Bielefeld in the Cup. We're not really focused on the DFB Pokal this year. We really just want to get back to the Bundesliga. Christian Conte, though, is fit enough to start. He will be on the left wing side as Albion Vernetzi moves to the bench. Martin Kobylanski will stay on the right. Finn Lachenmacher up top. Moving off of the bench, though, man of note is Jakob Rezik. He did pick up an injury. He's going to be out probably around 3 weeks. So, actually, thank God we didn't lose Vernetzi so far in the transfer window, because now we need him. That being said, we are excited for our home debut and see what we can get out of our brand new left-hand side with Victor Olmo in the back, Christian Conte up front. Also, Olivier NZ making his debut at center back as well. And we've got 13,883 in attendance here at the Grunwalder Stadion. And the first shot on goal went to 1860 Munich. So right now, not a lot going on. 50% possession each way, just a lot of back and forth. No clear-cut momentum one way or the other. We've even split the shots on goal. The only goal so far of the day has come in Bochum. They lead Sandhausen 1-0. But right now, not a ton of activity. We were expecting a little bit more of a high-intensity offense that we showed last year. We didn't really make a ton of changes in that regard. Obviously, we have added Christian Conte, but even in our last match, we didn't really see Vernetzi do anything that he basically did last year in his limited amount of time. Jakub Brezek, the same, because it looks like we may get through the first 45 minutes of this match without a single highlight. Make that 48 minutes as we've hit halftime. They did add on 3. Not a lot happened, although Dennis Zerbeni did pick up an injury for Paderborn in the 41st minute, and Tolga Arslan was booked. Otherwise, even looking at the ratings are all kind of, not a lot going on. We're hoping for more activity in this second half. Let's say we've been unlucky so far. I can't really say I'm happy with their performance because I have not seen literally any of their performance. But we do have a highlight earlier on pushback. Zvigala gets it from Sontheimer, finds Kovac deep in the midfield, back for Nz along the midfield stripe. Olmo for Talon, feeding it forward. He's got Finn Lachenmacher. He beats the goalkeeper. He puts in his first goal of the year. Last year, he started off with hat tricks in the first 2 matches. He was kept off the score sheet on match day 1, but he finds the back of the net, picks up his first. It's actually pretty easy. What a beautiful through ball by Talon Duman. Finn Lachenmacher gets the goalkeeper to commit, and he beats him easily near post, and it's 1-0. 1860 Munich. And to be honest with you, if that is the only highlight that we see, I'm okay with that. But it won't be. 53rd minute now, 54th in Z to get things started with a free kick. A lot of tight marking going on. He turns it over, is looking for Zvigala. Conte ahead. Platt is in with a shot, but he's going to miss that one wide. Kretzmar didn't even have to really make an effort for it, but unfortunately, it was a very, very poor play by Olivier Nz, and we have seen unfortunate passing so far. Trying to link with that midfield in the first 2 matches is something we are going to need to keep our eye on, something we're going to maybe have to address. Yeah, we just brought in a lot of these guys. They are brand new on the squad. Doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily be sticking with the squad long term. We've got some tired players. We're going to make some changes. Obviously, Conte coming back from the injury, a little bit knackered. Albion Vernetzi is going to come in now off of the bench this time. Zvigala, I'm really not loving Zvigala's stamina so far in these matches on that right-hand side. He has gotten tired. We've had to replace him pretty early. He may not be our permanent solution at right back. We may have to move him back into the center if we're going to be trying to address the concerns about his fitness so far. Kovac also a little bit tired. Daniel Vine, who has been with the squad for a long time, is still here. He's going to come in off of the bench as we make these 3 changes, getting ready for the final couple of minutes. Give a very quick little team talk. Let's see out this result. Again, we go in making these changes with a 1-0 lead, and we hope that we can just hang on to that for the rest of the time. Do we want to make an entire season of 1-0 matches? Absolutely not. Will we take a 1-0 victory? Any day of the week and twice on Sundays. It means that we're scoring more goals than the other team. We're keeping clean sheets. We're doing what we need to do defensively. Olmo, oh, what a feed. He's got Albion Vernetzi, and Olmo in his debut with an assist. What a great header by Vernetzi. Perfect delivery by Victor Olmo. And so much for the 1-0 victory. It is now 2-0, 1860 Munich. Wow. Just wow. What a play. And hopefully we can keep them off the board. Final 5 minutes. Throw in by Paderborn. They play with it in the midfield. Hofmeister, he's being harassed. He'll switch things up to Hewer in the middle. And Z with a stop. It gets knocked in over Kretzmar. They're going to call it a goal. Will they review it and see if there was an offside? There is the possibility of offside. The goal actually has been disallowed. They're going to say that Sir Lord Conte was offside. And as we see here on the replay, that was most definitely the case. Whew. I think we're going to escape with a second clean sheet in as many games. And as things stand right now, we're going back to the top of the table. We are the only squad so far that has played both matches that is undefeated as we hit full time. 2-0 is the final score, and what a way for us to get started here in the second Bundesliga. Back-to-back clean sheets for Tom Kretzmar. Goals this time by Finn Lachenmacher, Albion Vernetzi. It's like 23-24 all over again. And what a beautiful thing this early season table is for us. 1860 Munich sitting on top all alone. The only squad to win our first 2 matches. Goal difference of 3 with 1-0 and 2-0 victories respectively. Can we stay at the top? That is the question. We've got the DFB Pokal coming up. We've got a lot of early season matchups against teams that are obviously below us in the table. So when we come back, we're going to come back for the start of the month of November, where we've got a home match against Wehen Wiesbaden and then away against the former Bundesliga side in Mainz 05. Hopefully, we are still in a very good position at that point. But we're going to play ahead a little bit, see where we stand as we figure out how this second Bundesliga season is going to shape up and how things are going to shape up for the future of the save right here on YouTube. So, of course, if things get super interesting, maybe that plan will change. We'll be back against Wehen Wiesbaden and Mainz. Looking forward to seeing you again for a new episode on Monday. If you enjoyed this one, you just want to support the channel, please give us a big thumbs up on the video. It really helps us with the algorithm. You know all of that. Also, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so you know when the next video in the series is going to come up. I'm having so much fun with this. Hopefully we continue to have a fantastic season in the second Bundesliga, and our future in the Bundesliga is a lot closer than we think. We will find out. We'll see you for the November matches. Until then, bye-bye.